Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13th, verse 15th. Bahihi antah cha bhutanam acharam charam evacha sukshmatvat tad avigyeyam durastham cha antike cha tat. Durastham cha antike cha tat. That reminds us of Ishavasya Upanishad's similar line, tad dure tadvantike. Even it sounds even similar and its meaning is very similar. That spirit, that Brahman is far yet extremely close. It is transcendental as well as it is within us all, Brahman's qualities. So, Bahihi Antaha cha Bhutanam. It's outside and inside. Bahihi, outside, Antaha, inside, Bhutanam, all inside all beings. Acharam, non-moving, Charam, moving entities, Evacha, both. Sukshmatvat tat avigyam. It's extremely subtle, so it is unknowable. It is not commonly experienceable or knowable. As we all know, we can't really experience Brahman unless we are enlightened. Right? And so durastham cha antike chat. So it's extremely far yet extremely close because it's very subtle. Verse 16th, chapter 13th. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhut bhartra cha tad geyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. What a great, awesome use of the word grasishnu with Prabhavishnu. Vishnu we all know, Prabhavishnu, Lord that maintains the universe. Grasishnu is the word synonym for Shiva, that devours everything, takes away the entire universe and it recreates, of course, but that process of creation and dissolution, let's not call it destruction, but dissolution and recreation is an infinite cycle in Hinduism and also in Jainism. There is no creator, destroyer in Jainism, but it's infinite cycle there also. So Grasishnu and Prabhavishnu are kind of counterparts to the same divine force of dissolution and recreation. So what it says, verse 16, Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu. It's undivisible in all beings. Bhut is not ghost. Bhut simply means being, living being in Sanskrit. So, avibhaktam cha bhuteshu. Because of this confusion, colonial British translators of Ayurvedic texts translated bhut as ghosts. That Ayurveda is all about ghosts and superstitions and chudail and this and that, all nonsense they misinterpreted. But bhut simply means living being, not ghost in Sanskrit. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu. It's indivisible in all beings. Vibhaktam iva cha siddham. It is also divided among all the beings in the universe. Bhut bhartra cha tad geyam. Bhartra is to that which sustains everything. So this Brahman force in all beings sustains all beings in the universe. So they are knowable also. So it is knowable also, singular. Cha tad geyam. So it is knowable because it maintains all the beings in the universe. Grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Because it devours everything, it dissolves the universe, but also it creates and maintains it. Amazing line. I didn't know this line ever. I never heard this line before. First time as I translated this. All right, chapter 13th, verse 17th. Jyotisham apitat jyotihi tamasah param uchya jnanam geyam jnanagamyam. Wow, wonderful. Hridhi sarvasya vishtitam. That's an interesting verb. This also is new. In the heart of all city. Jyotisham apitat jyotis. Among all the different lights, it is the light among all the light. Tamasaha param uchyate, but it's also darkness, as quoted, as mentioned, uchyate, as mentioned by other sages. Jnanam geyam jnanagamyam. Jnanam, it is knowledge, supreme knowledge. Geyam, to be known. Jnanagamyam, to strive for that kind of knowledge. Is all in one. So knowledge, to be known, and goal of knowledge. Goal of all knowledge is also Brahman. Hridhi sarvasya vishtitam. Vishtitam, really interesting. So it's established, seated in the heart of all. So this is said to be the light of lights, beyond darkness, knowledge, object of knowledge, and which is to be attained through knowledge. It is seated in the hearts of all. What a great description. Poetic, philosophical, with all kinds of ironies, and it's supposed to defy logic, how exactly Brahman is. Where does Brahman reside? So it breaks all the dichotomies and polar opposites. It's far and near, light and darkness, and on and on. Iti kshetram tatha jnanam. This is the field, this is the knowledge. Geyam cha uktam samasat. Samasa is like, in brief, in very concise and precise terms, I'm explaining. Mad bhakta etad vigyaya mad bhavaya upapadya. So what it says, verse 18. Thus the field and knowledge, iti kshetram tatha jnanam. Geyam cha uktam samasata. And the to be known described briefly, samasata. To be known, gyayam cha uktam, as mentioned, as quoted. Mad bhakta, my devotee, etad vigyaya, this understanding to be known, I'm telling you in brief, mad bhavaya upapadyate. So you enter into my state of being by following my brief description of my knowledge of the field and that which is to be known. So thus the field, knowledge and the object of knowledge have been briefly described. My devotee, understanding this, enters into my state of being, that is Brahman state of being. Verse 19th. Prakritim purusham cha eva vidhi anadi ubhau api vikaran cha gunan cha eva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. So prakritim and purusham, this is the material nature and the spiritual nature, matter and spirit. Know that material nature and spirit are both beginningless. Prakritim purusham cha eva vidhi anadi. Adi is beginning, anadi without beginning. Ubhau api, both are beginning without beginning. All right. Then, and know also that the modifications of the field, vikarancha gunancha eva, modifications and attributes of both, vidhi prakriti sambhavan. Those arise from material nature. Whatever modifications happen are because of the material nature of reality. Okay. Verse 20th. This matches Jainism's metaphysics, where Jainism says that even though we all are, our ultimate nature is soul, but our body keeps changing every second. All infinite changes are always happening in all material bodies in the universe. So that's it matches that philosophy. Verse 20th. Chapter 13, verse 20. Karya karan kartritve hetuhu prakritihi uchyate purusham sukha dukkhanam bhoktratve hetuhu uchyate. So, karya, that which is to be done. Karan, the instrument, the cause. Kartritve, the doer. Hetuhu prakritihi uchyate. The purpose, the cause, the material nature is the cause. Cause is material nature. Purushaha sukha dukkhanam. And the spirit of pleasure and pain. Sukha dukkhanam. Bhoktritve hetuhu uchyate. In the experiencing, the cause, it is said. So, material nature is said to be the cause in the producing of cause and effect. The spirit is said to be the cause in the experiencing of pleasure and pain. That which experiences this pleasure and pain is spirit. That which undergoes this change is material nature. So, that dichotomy is very clear. It seems to be inspired heavily by Samkhya Yoga, the Shad Darshan, the 6 philosophical branches in Hindu-Indian philosophy. 6 are Astik Darshan, that all 6 accept the Vedas and Brahman. And then 3 are Nastik, Buddhism, Jainism and Charvaka. So among the Shad Darshan, among the 6 Darshanas, there is Sankhya Darshan, which clearly divides Purush and Prakriti, and that is what we see here in Bhagavad Gita also. So Bhagavad Gita is in essence a summary of all the Astik Darshana, but also we see glimpses of Buddhism and Jainism also, as I just mentioned in the previous verse. So here the dichotomy is very clear, very pronounced. Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti is material nature. Purusha is the spiritual nature, the spirit, yes. All right, the verse 21st now, chapter 13. Purusha prakriti hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan karanam gunasangah asya asat yoni janmasu. All right, so Purusha prakristah hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan. For the spirit abiding in material nature, spirit abides in material nature, Purusha, which stays inside Prakriti, experiences the qualities born of material nature. Bhunkte means experience. Bhog is to enjoy, to experience. Of bhunkte, experiences. Prakriti jan gunan. Qualities, gunan qualities. Prakriti jan, born out of material nature. Karanam gunasangah asya. Attachment to the qualities. Because of the attachment to the qualities, it becomes cause of its birth in good or evil species. What kind of yoni it will get in the next birth will be determined by how the spirit, which is abiding in material nature, will experience the qualities that are born out of material nature. So once again, for the spirit abiding in material nature, spirit inside material nature will experience the qualities born out of material nature, and attachment to those qualities will be the cause of birth in good or evil next birth. Yoni means feminine regenerative process, but yoni also means species. So what kind of next birth you will get will be determined by how you react to different attachments that arise because of the qualities that are born out of material nature in all of that. Completes chapter 13, 21st verse. So we'll take 22nd verse next time.
Thank you.